Welcome into the Alabama Football Report by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey. Here's what's coming up on today's show. We have the latest on the starting quarterback battle, the first scrimmage in the books for Alabama for spring practice. So we'll break down that, where things sit between Jalen, Milroe, Simpson, and we'll check in on just some overarching spring practice updates as well. Before we get to that, we have an NFL Draft YouTube channel. So if you care about what's going to happen with Bryce Young, with Jahmyr Gibbs, with Brian Branch, Will Anderson, and so many more for the Crimson Tide this year, go subscribe. Or if you just love the NFL Draft like we do here, youtube.com/chatNFL. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Let's get things started with the number one spring practice storyline. How does Alabama replace Bryce Young? We've been ignoring guys like Eli Holstein. I'm going to go with the two-man race. Simpson, Jalen, Milroe. I would be shocked if it wasn't one of those two guys out there week one and really throughout the season beyond. Maybe the occasional chance to get 5 snaps here at the end of a game or something like that. The quarterback battle is ongoing. I would guess this stretches into the fall and fairly deep into it. No real favorite yet. Nick Saban spoke after the first spring scrimmage, and well, he was been in the coach speak mode, which, it's fine. It's how it happens. Offensively, he says, I thought we were pretty consistent in terms of what we did. We moved the ball effectively and with balance, run and pass. Both quarterbacks played equally well. Both of them got opportunities. Both of them, I thought, did a nice job out there managing the game, meaning not turning the ball over, and I think they will ask a hell of a lot less out of Milroe and Simpson than what was put on the shoulders of potential number one overall pick Bryce Young. Now, if you want even more spring practice, spring football updates for Alabama, and share this video. Facebook, Twitter, text it to a buddy, whatever. Every share helps us out in a big-time way. So share this video on social media so we can keep doing more spring updates for you on Alabama. The battle, again, I think it's Simpson, Milroe. I know there are other guys on the roster. I would be shocked if it wasn't one of these two. That'd be a pretty big upset there. Milroe has more game experience. He took over when Bryce Young got hurt last year. Maybe CBS took it out of context, but Bill O'Brien said he couldn't throw, which it's not really accurate. He can't throw the same way Bryce Young does, but he does offer plenty of dual threat ability, and I think I'm very curious what the offense looks like. We'll get to some of the Tommy Rees comments made by Nick Saban and how that might play into it. Milroe's a better dual threat. I think Simpson fits more of the archetypal pocket passing quarterback, but he's got some athletic ability as well. It should be an interesting battle. I wouldn't be shocked if week one, both guys play a decent amount. And then they make a decision for the Texas game. I think that's a viable outcome there. Real chance both guys play. Both guys, of course, want the starting job. Who do you think gets it, though? It's the pinned comment on today's show, so if the ad break happens to come here on the YouTube side, take advantage of it. Head down there, type in JM for Jalen Milroe, TS for Simpson. Again, if the ad break comes here on YouTube, just ignore it. You can, whatever plays no one cares about, go vote in the comment section, JM or TS. I was really intrigued by the Nick Saban comments about new offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. We'll show you the full quotes and then focus in on what I was most intrigued by. Saban said on Tommy Rees, Tommy does a great job with the players. Players like him. He's taken our system and pretty much used our system that we use, added some things to it. I think the offensive line has done a good job. We got a few more multiples in terms of how we can run the ball. He does a really good job with formations, how to use formations to create advantages for an offense. I've been really pleased with what we've been able to do on that side of the ball and how we've developed. The part about taking our system, that really stands out to me as an interesting line. I was, maybe this was foolish of me, but I'm like, okay, Rees is going to bring in the Notre Dame offense. All of his terminology, all of his designs, etc. When Saban says he's taken our system, that tells me the terminology from what was used previously under Bill O'Brien, etc., isn't going to change that much. It's going to be similar calls, some similar philosophies. The multiples in the run, again, tell me Tommy Rees is going to use probably some more tight end packages we've seen in the past. They're going to try to expand the running game, especially if Jalen Milroe is the quarterback. All of that, and again, maybe I'm reading too much into what Saban had to say, but all of this tells me it's not just going to be a carbon copy of the Notre Dame offense. It will be a little bit different, but Saban is going to take some, Rees going to take some elements of what Saban and the other offensive coaches, I think hopefully some more Lane Kiffin stuff. I think that stuff works really well in college, and Steve Sarkisian too, will be implemented more into the Tommy Rees offense and still draw some elements from what he was doing in Notre Dame, probably as it relates to different tight end looks and packages. And that will still take some time to get the players in after just the, 1/2 recruiting cycle or whatnot. We're going to spend some more time here on the wide receiver room. But first, make sure you guys are subscribed for more free Alabama football videos right here at the Alabama Football Report. Hit that sub button right now. Next up, Saban, who was specifically asked on the quote you're about to see about Malik Benson, who we will spend some time with because it's hype train season for Benson. We do it every year with an Alabama receiver. Sometimes it works out pretty well. But he answered in general about the wide receiver room, which is a red flag for me entering this season. He said, I think Jermaine Burton made some big plays today. Again, this is about the spring practice. Ja'Cory Brooks made some big plays today. Benson's had a really, really good spring and is capable of stretching the field and making big plays. Good all-around player. He is certainly going to help us. Isaiah Bond has had a really good spring and has done a really good job. First mention I've seen, at least, of Isaiah Bond, a lot of the stuff, message boards and whatnot, and the spring practices are closed, so it's a little bit hush-hush to an extent there. Jermaine Burton was the Georgia transfer. Eventually, he and Ja'Cory Brooks kind of got going down the stretch, but, Jahmyr Gibbs was the leading pass catcher in terms of just straight-up catches this past year. Cameron Latu seemed to be the second favorite target of Bryce Young, so you're losing two of your better playmakers. Alabama, in desperate fashion, frankly, needs somebody to emerge at this wide receiver spot. And frankly, some buddies. Burton, Brooks, Prentice all have the background, the experience, more so than the number one JUCO recruit in Malik Benson, who has drawn a lot of positive buzz early on. And if he can bring the speed this team needs, especially what I think might be a pretty run-heavy, play-action-heavy offense, hitting the deep shots off of that play action is going to be important for Alabama. And we got burned last year. The JoJo early hype was just not accurate. Maybe Benson does step up this year for the Crimson Tide. So what is your confidence level then in the wide receiver core overall? 1 to 10 is the scale? Be honest with me. Go vote in the comments section. The defense deserves some love. A lot of big players out at spring, so it's not quite the same standpoint for the offense there. Terrion Arnold spoke to media about what he's going to do this year, focused on technique, but also maybe not just playing outside corner. Here's what Arnold said. Versatility is good in this game. And I feel like with that, in terms of playing some star in spring, it's really creating value for myself and allowing me to help the team if they need me to go in there and play. I'm doing whatever the team really needs me to do. I feel like it's benefiting the team in a positive way. Beyond that, he said, I'm trying to grow in my technique, understanding the game, watching the film, dissecting a lot of the plays, and just knowing where my teammates are and knowing where my help is and just benefiting from that. This is how we have it extremely tentatively, and I'm sure this will not be 100% accurate come actual game day, where it sits on the Bama defensive depth chart. Malachi Moore, I had penciled in at star. He is getting some work at safety, and I think an ideal outcome for Alabama is maybe you put Malachi Moore at safety. I want to see Caleb Downs, the 5-star, get some run there. Obviously, Kool-Aid McKinstry is going to play corner. Terrion Arnold probably better on the outside, but maybe he's like the backup star. Keep an eye on Earl Little II, getting some star reps as well. I actually meant to have him above Kite. I'll get that changed later. But I think this Bama depth chart can undergo some, at least in the secondary, some major changes because Malachi Moore, Downs getting safety reps. Earl Little, Arnold, and Moore all getting star reps there. The only player I'd lock in 100% for his role is probably Kool-Aid McKinstry at cornerback 1 because, well, he's going to be awesome. I'm going to keep an eye on the back end of that secondary. A lot of key pieces gone. Jordan Battle, Brian Branch, even Eli Ricks too. Could be some change on that in that area for Bama this year.